Well, Earthian. Huh. Well, hello, Earthian. You're still here. Oh, I gotta say, I was really hoping you would be gone, but I did not think you would be. I know, Mr. Fuzzy Pants. He's got a drinking problem. You know, he doesn't want to see anybody about it. He just, he wants to keep drinking, and that, we should always respect the decisions of sentient brain beings. You deny three brain beings sentient decisions because you're a three brain being, and that would mean you would be denying your own. It's just not good. But yeah, the party was good. I had a good time. This possum is not as in good condition as I am, though. Wow. He asked me not to say anything, but I digress. I guess you're here for a reason, and so it must be important. It must be important that we have a conversation. You don't just end up in the cave of contemplation for no reason, right? Especially in Earthian. That's a very strange development for us here. So yeah, I'm gonna assume you don't know why you're here. I have an inkling as to why you're here, but you don't know why you're here, so there's that problem. You don't even know where you are. I mean, that's a big issue. You don't know where you are. Not only that, you don't even know what you are. I mean, you can say you're an Earthian, but what does that even mean? And is that all you are? So you probably have a lot of questions as to how you got to the cave, what you're supposed to do from here, and all those kinds of things. You want to leave? You want to go home? Why is the puppet teddy bear in control of the interdimensional portal button? These are all really valid questions, but ultimately meaningless. They don't have any meaning at all. They mean nothing. Your questions mean nothing. Valid. Extremely valid. 100% valid. But they don't mean jack crap in a handbasket. All right? Sorry. I mean, not sorry. I just got to tell you. Because the universe doesn't just bend to our whims. Hell, we don't even know what it is. So that's probably why you're here. I'm guessing that humans on Earth right now are having a pretty bad time. And since I am technically human, and I am the Raccoon King, possibly the universe, the unions, the universal inspiration, the Tao, the Holy Spirit, the One, the All, must have brought you here so that I could teach you something, which means I have to do work, and I don't like doing work. All right? I don't like doing work, and I don't care about your money. You can't pay me to do it, all right? Earthians are the worst kind of human. That's not your fault. I shouldn't put you down. You don't know. No one there knows. No one can understand. No one can say. You guys don't know about the Great Transalpanian incident that gave you a second moon many, many millennia ago. You don't know about all the civilizations that have flourished and perished on your planet. There's so many things you don't know. But again, you don't even know what you are. You think you know what you are because you tell yourself, I'm a human. And you never ask the question, well, what does that even mean? Because no one on earth can tell you what that means. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a word. It means you're a biological organism with skin and organs. And doesn't really mean anything. It's some sort of classification made up by beings who needed to classify things because they recognized they didn't understand them. But they wanted to at least be able to pretend that they could until they did, which is, not a bad move. Humans on Earth, though, the Earthians, they've had a tough go of it. It's been rough. That planet is in a very bad position in the solar system and the greater universe. It did deal with the big accident and also the consequences of the organ Kundaberg. That's a tough one for the humans on that planet, even though it's already been removed, but consequences are there. The organ was a necessary appendage. Mathematics can be crazy, Nobody meant for some giant meteor to strike this planet many, many millennia ago before we were living on it. But that had to be rectified, so, But again, humanity it's in a strange place because it's the only three-brain being I know of that doesn't already come with knowledge and understanding and all of those kinds of things. So it's very peculiar, which means that humans have to work. Humans have to work to attain that. It's still attainable for you, of course. But you find yourself in the veiled illusion, the veiled forest, the veiled wood, the great murky deep. You find yourself in the simulation, and you don't know how to escape. But you have come to hear the cave of contemplation, where that is exactly what we contemplate. How to escape the great illusion. Again, though, we must understand where we are and where we're coming from, how we got here. And let me please give you my credentials that I have spent many years learning this process and using it for myself. And I come to this position solemnly. I would much prefer to be the partying raccoon king, having fun. I don't feel like teaching an Earthian. That's a tough job. It's a tough challenge. Earthians got it rough. I'm telling you, it's one of the worst places in the universe. It's pretty bad. It's not the worst. And you're not in the worst timeline, so there's that. But it's tough. But that also means that you have the most possibility of learning. On the easy planets and the easy worlds and the easy lives, learning is limited because you don't want to. Everything's good. You don't want to learn to escape from the simulation when things are good. You want to learn when things aren't good. And when things are good, you don't have a read. What you want to do is save the good that you're experiencing. And usually that will come at the expense of others, almost inevitably. And that happens at the highest scales and the lowest scales. Because people think that their salvation lies in something that is ephemeral, money, sex, more children, bigger bank accounts, higher numbers, being the best. I'm the best at throwing a ball. Now, I'm not throwing shade on athletes, people who spend their whole life playing sports and being the best at throwing the ball. Good for them. That's a difficult thing to do. But what I'm saying is that we can't consider these concepts meaningful. I mean, where's the meaning in being the best at a sport? Or the best hope? The best country? What does this even mean? What even are we that we could be the best at something? What are even things? Where are we? What is the simulation? Why would we be the best at something? I'm sure you've had all of these thoughts. If you're here now in the cave of contemplation, still here, you would have left by now. You would have found a way. I mean, the cave doesn't have a door. It's open. Walk right on out. I ask you for nothing in return. Just sit and listen. That's it. So how did you get here? Well, there are many schools of thought on this. I adhere to one. I draw it from my handbook for the recently deceased. Yes, it's called A Course in Miracles. This will give you all the answers. If you can get through it, which is terribly difficult for many people. Doesn't matter, the Raccoon King is here. Obviously, the universal inspiration wants the Raccoon King to show you. You, one insignificant human that showed up out of nowhere with a very, very general and vague vibe and look. Yes. I guess that's what it wants. That's fine. I've actually always wanted to talk about this stuff, if you want to be real. So I'll tell you. I'll tell you. At least I'll tell you from the position of A Course in Miracles. How A Course in Miracles says we arrived in the grand illusion. The veiled woods. The murky depths. The clouded air. Whatever the hell you want to call it. Doesn't matter. It's all the same crap. Remember that we're talking about ideas that go beyond human comprehension and human language. So we have to be very open about new thoughts and ideas and how to categorize them and how to communicate them. That's the hardest part. Very difficult to communicate. Well, here's what the Course says. There was no beginning because reality prime, which is the word I'm going to use instead of God, because God has become a dirty word on earth for many people. And I think it would be important and helpful if we could remove the monopoly that religions have on the concept of God, because they don't own the concept. They just hijacked it and convinced everyone that they're the only ones